So, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today on this webinar. We're going to talk about hardware acceleration and how it can really help certain applications, and especially if those that have time processing sensitive businesses, this might be a game changer for you. So, we are talking to you from WINE IT Services based in Argentina. And today's subject again is hardware acceleration, specifically Field-Programmable Gate Array. So about WINE, started up in 1995, founded by two good friends, Mr. Gustavo Comiso and Mr. Jorge Ateguile. It's your classic technology startup, you could say, garage type of operation, although I'm not sure it was a garage or not, but it was that type of thing. Two friends started it up. They've grown to more than 350 professionals in 4 countries with more than 100 clients, 3 service areas, 5 expertise areas, ISO 9000 quality certification, and a client satisfaction rating of over 97%. So that's WINE in numbers. Some of our clients that are more recognizable: AIG, Coca-Cola, McAfee, MetLife, Oracle, SoundHound, Walmart. The truth is that WINE works with clients large and small in a variety of different technology areas and services. We mentioned before there are several different service areas. So a very flexible organization, a very versatile organization that works with clients large and small. So today, what we'll be talking about specifically is the benefits of hardware acceleration, namely Field-Programmable Gate Array, that type of hardware acceleration, the apps and platforms that will benefit from this type of solution, how hardware acceleration may improve certain point solutions such as anything built on artificial intelligence, cognitive services, or databases. So we'll be talking to that in some level of detail. And today you have, as speakers, you have me. My name is Dennis Bruce, together with Javier Llerena. We are business development partners. Good morning, Javier. Javier's on the West Coast of the US. I'm on the East Coast. And we also have Rodrigo Mello, who is our subject matter expert, electronic engineer, and FPGA specialist. And Rodrigo will be leading the webinar today and the discussion around hardware acceleration and specifically FPGA. So I'd like to now turn it over to Rodrigo and get us started. And Rodrigo, it's all yours.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Dennis, for your introduction. And thanks to all the attendants today. Well, my name is Rodrigo Mello. I am FPGA electronic engineer. I have 14 years of experience in research and development with FPGAs. Today, I will explain what is hardware acceleration, how FPGA can be used for that, and we will see some common cases when you can use it. So, okay, as you probably know, there was an exponential growth of data in the last 10 years almost, as never seen before, and it is not casual. Think about the smartphone, the number of smartphones in the world, consuming and producing content. Think also about Internet of Things devices, IoT. They are reading the values from a lot of sensors and sending to the cloud to be processed. Think about the quantity of data moved related with video and also video games streaming today. Bitcoin, the famous cryptocurrency started in 2009, is the first case of a blockchain. Again, the first case of a blockchain. There are a lot more of use cases. And it takes almost 200 gigabytes in each computer where it is replicated. It is a lot in the world for one blockchain. You can also think about, for more than 50 years, we use the same low resolution in our TVs, and in a short time, we changed for high definition to full high definition, and today we talk about 4 and 8K content. All of them are only a few examples. In the other hand, we have today new applications, artificial intelligence, which was science fiction 10 or 15 years ago, is today a reality in the form of machine learning and deep learning. Also think about augmented reality, which is today on sport and news show that we see every day. It are new applications where the general purpose processor that we have are not enough. They need more performance. They need a specific hardware tailored to the problem. Okay, what is hardware acceleration? Think about your program where you can maybe check, optimize the algorithm. You are using the last generation processor and you have enough memory, but it still takes hours, maybe days in execute a task, maybe a simulation or learning something for machine learning. One option, which is enabled by a cloud provider, is distributed computing. In this case, you are adding more servers to the problem with the proportional cost related to use this technology. Think, for example, if you have one server and you need to divide the execution time by 3, you need at least 4 servers because you are spending time in networking, in management, in storage. So you have one server with time problems, and now you have 4 servers to solve it. Another option is the hardware acceleration. Normally, they are FPGA boards which are put in your server, and the main idea is to improve the server performance, but also you can minimize the space. Think about a data center. Instead of 4 servers, you can have 1 server with a lot of this board. You are lowering the power consumption, also increasing the privacy because the data is not exposed in the network, it's inside the PC or the server, and you are lowering the total cost of ownership. It is also another important point. Okay, we know the CPUs. The CPUs are the processor of our computer or smartphone, a lot of products in our houses. They are great. Thanks to them, we can use general purpose operating system. We have programming languages, which are in fact the base of the IT services. But the problem is that they are general purpose. It is great to solve any problem, but the code is executed in a sequential mode. So for problem when you have a complex algorithm with a lot of data, it is a problem. It's true, today processor has a high speed, and each time they are adding more cores, which is the quantity of processor inside the same chip. But all these features are needed to provide the software abstraction to be able to provide a good user experience, but they are not prepared to complex algorithm. One option is the GPUs. The GPUs, the graphical processor, were introduced in the mid-80s to help firstly with 2D pixels and now with 3D rendering. And near of 2005, they were used for the scientific community to process complex mathematical expression. And so NVIDIA started to sell them as general purpose CPUs. So it is an option for hardware acceleration to use a GPU. What is a GPU at a technical level? There are a lot of smaller CPUs all together in the same integrated circuit. which a more specific task. Basically, they can reach a very good performance with mathematics. The other option, the option that we choose, are the Field-Programmable Gate Array, FPGAs. They are reconfigurable hardware. They are custom. You have full parallelism, a small consumption if you compare with CPUs. So in CPUs and in GPUs, you have fixed hardware. Here you are creating your own hardware, your specific hardware, tailored to solve a problem. Okay, here is a small representation, a simple representation. It started empty that you can program your own hardware there. They can be seen as an empty integrated circuit, which allows you to create custom hardware with high capable parallel processing. You can connect more than one block. The input of one block is connected to the output of the previous one, so you can change hardware to obtain more throughput in the data. So you can tailor it to the specific problem. The main FPGA providers are also the main FPGA accelerator card providers. They are Xilinx with the boards called Alveo, and Intel with PAC, which means Programmable Accelerator Card. At the right, you can see an AMD server with 8 Alveo accelerator card. You can use it on premise. You can buy the board, the server, configure the system, and pay the licenses, or you can use in the cloud. Amazon Web Service in their Elastic Cloud services are providing FPGAs since late 2016, FPGAs from Xilinx. In the other hand, you have Microsoft Azure. Microsoft is using FPGA from Xilinx with Bing and Azure services since 2015, and providing services accelerated from also 2016. And in the middle, providing solution based on both Xilinx and Intel, you have Nimbix. They are only some of them. There are other more related to the Chinese side of the world. Okay, which application see a benefit of using a hardware acceleration solution? We are talking about application where you are processing a complex algorithm with a large data set. So the idea is that you are processing something in seconds, hours, maybe days. The idea is to reduce this time. Some of these applications are machine learning, video and image processing, and databases. We will see more details about that. Others, of course, are related with data analytics, big data in general, and high performance computing. You can saw also FPGAs in storage. There are now hard drive, which includes FPGA in their hardware. Also, there are tools and services which are already accelerated to provide this, for example, simulations or provide analysis of images as a service. And FPGA are very useful also in networking acceleration. There are companies using it on the data centers to interchange data. They are using for protocol analysis in real time to guess about probably attack. So they are very useful there. Okay, now we will perform a survey. Javier will be drive this session. Javier, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Rodrigo.
Okay.
So we have a poll right here for everybody who's attending. We definitely want to get your feedback there. So I'm going to launch the poll right there, and just want to get a feeling on your process, your environment that you have. and obviously what type of databases. So we're gonna keep the poll there for 30 seconds, and well, more than that, we give you more time. We got plenty of questions there, so if you can go ahead and answer, that'd be great. All right, we're getting some answers here, some feedback. Great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it another 5 seconds if you are going through it. And I will go ahead and end the poll right here and kind of see the results. All right, great. So if you can see, Rodrigo, we got in the polls here. And do you have any experience in any of the technology? Yes, obviously on GPU. And we see the majority of the people are using Microsoft Azure as their hosting platform. Equal on the Oracle and SQL servers right there.
Yep, I
And
can
then,
see.
yeah, and definitely machine learning, deep learning, and other tools and services. Great. Well, thank you for everyone in participating. That gives us a better feeling of how to address some of your questions moving forward.
Okay, we can close the poll. There. Okay, we will continue. Okay. About artificial intelligence, there are a lot of framework and libraries for machine and deep learning which are already accelerated. Some of them are there. For example, you have the machine learning library of Apache Spark, TensorFlow, Keras, Kofi, H2U, Kubeflow. All of them are already accelerating. Maybe they are in different places, in different cloud service provider, but are there. The idea when you decide to use machine learning or deep learning in your business is to take highly informed decision to perform a predictive analysis, to create recommendation system, marketing personalization. It is very useful for fraud detection by credit card, in banks, in retails. It is used. Also for feature extraction. Sometimes it is used also with image processing. So we will see that they can be combined. Well, here about image and video processing. OpenCV for images, FFmpeg for video streaming are two of the more well-known open source solutions. They are they have some function, a lot of function accelerating already. So you can use it for virtual reality and augmented reality, real-time detection. Think about a retail, you can check people there which is doing. Here again, feature extraction, you can extract some information for the images. You can process large images. Think again about 4 and 8K. If you need to extract features there, or if you need to introduce augmented reality there, you need high performance computing to process. So they are very useful there. According to the databases, I see the result of the pool the more useful or the more used for the attendant are Oracle and Microsoft SQL. The problem is both of them are privative, so they are not yet accelerated version, but probably soon. There are a lot of open source databases already accelerated. SQL and SQL, some of them, Cassandra, MongoDB, PostgreSQL, all of them are already accelerated, and MySQL is in progress. So we will see it in the near future. Think about a database is a general purpose application used in all the business. And maybe the times that you can accelerate the solution is near to 3 to 5 times. Basically, you are acting in the compression and compaction of data. You are performing, you have more performance in the storage and also in the networking. There are the parts of the databases which are accelerated to increment the performance. Okay, summary of what we saw today. CPU are great. CPU are Amazon Accelerator. They are very useful for machine learning training. But the FPGA are the only reconfigurable hardware which can be perfectly tailored to any problem. You can create a lot of processing units in design integrated circuit, all of them with different widths. So you are saving space and consuming less power, for example, against a CPU. The main FPGA accelerator card providers are Silence and Intel. You can use it on-premise, or you can use a cloud provider, such as Amazon Web Service. Any computationally complex algorithm with large data handling is a candidate for the acceleration, but if you misapply it, it can be counterproductive because you are spending a lot of time to move the data from the CPU to the FPGA. If you are not already accelerating, it is not productive in performance. The acceleration factor can be from a few times to thousands. It depends on the application. For example, in finance, there are a method called the Monte Carlo method. There you can see from 100 to 1,000 acceleration times. So it could be great. And it is translated and executed with takes days are reduced to hours, and hours could be reduced to minutes, seconds, and sometimes real time. The FPGA offers the high performance, workload flexibility, and energy efficient operation for a range of applications. And at the same time, you are lowering the total cost of ownership, but again, you are reducing the execution time and lowering the TCO. You have more than one advantages in this technology. Now, Javier, you can proceed. Thanks again for being here. If you have some question, we can answer after Javier's presentation. So thanks to be here.
Yes, thank you, Rodrigo. Very informative. And thank you, Dennis. I just want to touch on the next slide.
Yep, sorry. There.
So how can we help you as 1A? Like Dennis mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, Dennis has been around for over 25 years. So as you can see, we are a very solid company when it comes to technology. And as you can see in this presentation, we are leading the edge in regards to computing. So what we offering, obviously, is your team, as your technology partner, is really offering you the best infrastructure that can help you to suit your business, right? It can either be there either in-house or like we saw on the poll on the cloud, and kind of advise you as well on the best frameworks that you can use, the best libraries that you're currently using, and perhaps we can suggest best practice for you. And then another thing that is very important, as you know, from a technical perspective, is really refactoring the APIs, right? And creating those custom accelerations as you enter the FPGA world. And obviously, another key factor that we have that we provide in 1A is a complete team that can support you through this journey, right? So we're not the traditional body shop where we provide you just engineers. We are providing you an entire team and also a technological advisor to carry on with your project, right? So we would love to engage with you if you have a project or you're thinking about this technology and how to implement it, and we'd love to have a conversation with you. Here is where we are located. We are located literally in the entire Americas. Dennis is in the East Coast. I am in the West Coast here in the United States. We have offices in Chile, Mexico, and Argentina as well. And obviously you can see on the social media, you can connect with us. Definitely would love to have that conversation with you and be your technology partner and explore further how can this technology help you as well. I know we do have some questions. Is that right, Rodrigo?
Yep. Let me know.
Yes, definitely. I see some questions here. We have a question from Alexander Tucker. Thank you for joining us today. Why then is better to speed up hardware via FPGA and not with GPUs?
Okay. In the case of GPU, they are great for machine learning or deep learning training. But in the case of GPU, there are fixed hardware. You have hundreds of smaller, simpler processors, and they are there. If you need almost 50, there are a lot, 50 that you are not using it. And also, there are simpler CPUs in parallel, but they are not connected. The output of the first one is not connected to the output of the second one. So in the case of FPGA, you can create, again, your own solution accelerated in hardware. You can provide a custom hardware with the needed size that you need, and also you can change the blocks. So you are obtaining more throughput of the data, you are accelerating a little more with less consumption.
Great, thank you. I hope, Alexander, that answered your question. I invited you again to have a conversation with us live. We have another question from Stephen Peak. Thank you for joining us today. And Stephen's asking us, can we only use accelerated frameworks, or can new technologies be developed? That's a great question.
Yes, a good question. There are FPGAs is a technology of 1986. It's a complex technology where you need to know about other languages which are not the same using in software. You need to think about parallelism and synchronism. So it's different. It's another topic. So there is a gap within the hardware and the software technologies. And the idea in the last year, the 4 last year, with cloud providers such as Amazon or Azure, is to fill the gap with accelerated solution. So there are third parties providing this solution and the framework that is shown in the presentation. But if you have your own algorithm, you can create the solution from scratch with a hardware descriptor languages. You can use the FPGA with your own solution. It will be more tailored to your problem, but well, you need to spend the time to create it. But yet you can create your own solution.
Great. Thank you, Rodrigo. And I hope, Stephen, we answered your question. We don't have any more questions here. Dennis, I don't know if you want to add more. Rodrigo, just give us a great, very robust process and the benefits of FPGA. I don't know, Dennis, we can wrap it up. You want any final, you open up the meeting, you have the opportunity to close it as well.
Okay, thank you, Javier. So yeah, well said, Javier, and thanks, Rodrigo. Great presentation. As Javier said, we are at your disposal We have 5 different service areas. So, you know, again, it's a versatile team, a flexible team with flexible service delivery models. And, you know, it all begins with a conversation. So, you know, no obligation conversation where we can discuss what your problems are, what your issues are, what your objectives are, what your opportunities are. And, you know, if we can help you get there, then we can certainly talk in more detail about that. So I would just like to thank everyone for joining. Thanks to the whole 1A team, including Rodrigo, Javier, Sergio Martinez, who's there in the background, but ever present, and founders Gustavo Comiso and Jorge Ateguiles, who built a great company. So thanks, everyone. We're at your disposal, and look forward to talking to you sometime soon.
Bye.